Prince Andrew stripped of military titles and royal patronages by the Queen. Prince Andrew will no longer be referred to as His Royal Highness after the Queen stripped him of his military titles and royal patronages. And while the Duke of York will keep his Royal Highness honorific, he will not use it after a judge decided he would have to face a civil trial on sex abuse allegations. Virginia Giuffre claims Andrew's friend Jeffrey Epstein forced her to have sex with the royal on 3 occasions when she was 17. The Duke of York vehemently denies the allegations. A Buckingham Palace spokesperson said, with the Queen's approval and agreement, the Duke of York's military affiliations and royal patronages have been returned to the Queen. The Duke of York will continue not to undertake any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen. Andrew, a former Royal Navy helicopter pilot who flew in the 1982 Falklands War, is accused of sexually assaulting Virginia Giuffre when she was 17. Ms. Giuffre alleges the late disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein lent her out for sex with his wealthy and powerful associates. Andrew, who is ninth in line to the throne, was forced to step back from royal duties in late 2019 after a disastrous television interview in which he tried to defend his links to Epstein. Public outrage at the time saw several charities and associations distance themselves from him, and he has since repeatedly denied Giuffre's allegations. He has rarely been seen in public since the television interview. On Thursday, he was seen being driven from his house near Windsor Castle, west of London, an AFP photographer said. The announcement came after more than 150 Royal Navy, Royal Air Force and British Army veterans wrote to the Queen, calling on her to strip Andrew of his ranks and titles in the armed forces. The 95-year-old head of state is Commander-in-Chief of the Army, Navy and Air Force. Were this any other senior military officer, it is inconceivable that he would still be in post, the veterans wrote in a joint letter made public by the anti-monarchy pressure group Republic. Officers of the British Armed Forces must adhere to the very highest standards of probity, honesty and honourable conduct. These are standards which Prince Andrew has fallen well short of, they wrote, adding that he had brought the services he is associated with into disrepute. Senior members of the British royal family have typically been appointed as honorary heads of military units, with the Queen's approval. Andrew was honorary colonel of the Grenadier Guards, whose soldiers guard Buckingham Palace in their distinctive bearskin hats and red tunics. Judge Kaplan rejected motion to dismiss from Andrew's legal team, and now the lawsuit against the Duke of York, 61, could go to trial later this year. Virginia's lawyer David Boyes has said Meghan may be called on to give evidence because she spent time in the UK with the royal family and is now living in the US. Mr. Boyes said of Meghan, "She is somebody we can count on to tell the truth." Ms. Giuffre claims that she was a victim of sex trafficking by late billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein and was lent out to other powerful men. She says she was forced to have sex with Andrew 3 times, when she was 17 at the London home of Epstein's Madame Ghislaine Maxwell, at Epstein's townhouse in New York and on the billionaire's private island of Little St. James in the U.S. Virgin Islands. At Epstein's townhouse in New York and on the billionaire's private island of Little St. James in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Andrew has vehemently denied the claims, while Buckingham Palace has said it would not comment on an ongoing legal matter. His lawyers tried to get the case against him thrown out due to a deal Virginia struck with the late Jeffrey Epstein during her lawsuit against the convicted child sex offender in 2009. The agreement stated that she could not sue anyone else connected to Epstein as she settled her claim against him for $500,000. Andrew's team argued that he was a potential defendant as defined in the agreement and the case against him should therefore be dismissed. Prominent honorary military titles stripped from him include Colonel of the Grenadier Guards, Honorary Air Commodore of RAF Lossiemouth, Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Irish Regiment, Colonel-in-Chief of the Small Arms School Corps, Commodore-in-Chief of the Fleet Air Arm, Royal Colonel of the Royal Highland Fusiliers, Deputy Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Lancers, Queen Elizabeth's Own, and Royal Colonel of the Royal Regiment of Scotland.